So, first, it's important to understand that everything is energy, okay? And energy flows to you, through you, and then becomes you. That is why it is so important that we begin having this conversation. This is why your environment is so crucial into your expansion and your experience of reality. Welcome back to the Shadow Priestess Embodied. I'm your host, Kaylin Rakowski, and thank you for joining me today for another deep dive and exploration into your inner world, into your body, the shadow realms, where we will begin to explore some of these esoteric principles and really begin to drop them down into modern day application and embodiment. This is a sacred place where you can begin to truly meet yourself, meet your medicine, and to meet your magic. This is a place of remembrance. Take a deep breath and let's begin. Welcome back, you guys, for another episode of the Shadow Priestess Embodied. So, as you know, I am constantly bringing these downloads, activations, transmissions as I receive them. And something that I experience with my set of gifting, it's called like timeline previewing, where it's almost as I get a glimpse or a feeling into what the collective is experiencing as a whole. And I use my channel, my vessel to work through it, to sit with it, to explore it, to transmute it as a way to serve, as a way to transmute the energy, as well as bring it into deeper discussions with you all. Okay. So today, what I have really been sitting with and sitting in is the power of your environment. And I think there's so much in the manifestation space about techniques and tools and rituals, etc. That's great. However, I think we're missing a very crucial piece, and it is this conversation of environment. And I just don't mean, the neighborhood you live in or your home. I'm also talking about the relationships you have in your life, the music that you listen to, the accounts that you're following on social media, the food you put into your body, okay? This all creates your energetic environment, and your environment can either be a huge ally in supporting you in your expansion, in your journey, in your soul mission, or it can actually have the opposite effect where it can actually, the word that's coming is destroy it. And again, I'm just going to give it to you as I see it. And, you know, what I'm noticing is that we are desiring to have a certain experience with reality, or, to manifest or to create blank, but we are not setting ourselves up in the proper environment to thrive. So, first, it's important to understand that everything is energy, okay? And energy flows to you, through you, and then becomes you. That is why it is so important that we begin having this conversation. This is why your environment is so crucial into your expansion and your experience of reality, okay? Like, imagine a fish trying to climb a mountain and it's getting so frustrated because it wants to be an amazing swimmer, right? So obviously, the fish trying to climb the mountain is going to look like it's failing. It's going to look like, it can't do it, that it's incapable. Okay. As if you put the fish in the water, in the proper ecosystem, the proper environment, the proper temperatures for it to thrive, what does it do? It swims. Okay. Now, I know this is kind of a silly example. However, we are no different in this aspect. Okay. If you are desiring to be, to do, to have this experience, but your external environment, relationships, behaviors, etc., are not in congruence or supporting that, then you do not have the proper environment to thrive. And I want you to really look at your life where you are desiring to have a certain experience and you keep meeting external resistance, or the feeling just isn't there, and asking yourself, is this environment, is this aspect of my life supporting the version of me that I'm becoming? Is this supporting the reality that I'm wishing to step into and to create? And the beautiful thing about this, you guys, is that your body is constantly communicating with you, showing you, what is in alignment, what isn't for you, right? We are constantly being flooded with messages, sensations, feelings, emotion, imagery, right? Triggers, whatever you want to call it. But we constantly have this communication, but a lot of us are so disconnected from our bodies that we're unable to tap in and to hear it. Okay. So I want you to think for a second. Your higher self, okay, has a direct connection to your subconscious. Your subconscious mind essentially can download and access this part of your essence, this part of your soul, okay, your higher self. And with it being attached to the subconscious, the unseen realms, its language isn't going to say, hey, Becky, this relationship is actually not in alignment for you. Hey, this job isn't going to be the thing that gets you to the next level, etc. But what it will start doing is creating different feelings in the body when you're around this person or interacting with this element of business, right? You're going to start getting triggered. You're going to have these different sensations, maybe even imageries that start being shown to you, trying to get your attention to say, hey, like this thing right here isn't serving you anymore. However, human beings don't like the unknown. We don't like anything that's unfamiliar. Okay. And many times we won't move until it's something so uncomfortable, right? Like you won't leave the job until you're fired. You won't leave the relationship until somebody cheats on you, right? Like we wait for things to get so uncomfortable, even if we know it's not serving us. Okay. But when we can begin to cultivate a different and deeper relationship, a deeper understanding of our bodies, of our sensations, of our somatic experience, it's so much easier to begin interpreting these signals and also then choosing choices that are in alignment and support what is in the highest alignment for you, or what is going to be most serving you in the experience that you're wishing to call in. So, what I see as the biggest block to cultivating in deeper understanding or a relationship with your body, with your emotions, with your intuition is that we live in a society that's kind of heavily demonized somebody who's very sensitive, who's empathic, right? My whole entire life, it was, you're so sensitive. Oh my gosh, you're too sensitive. If I had $1 for every time someone told me this, yo girl would be bawling. Okay. However, I've begun to understand that, me being highly sensitive, me having access to the unseen realms and different gifting that I carry is actually my ability to go deep into my emotions, to go deep into those sensations, the somatic experience that's happening in the body. But for so many of us, we don't allow ourselves to fully feel and to experience what our bodies, what our higher self is trying to communicate with us, because we've made it bad thing, right? Like it's bad to be emotional. Like big girls don't cry or boys don't cry, right? Like think about all of the programming and conditioning around emotion that you have been flooded with since you were a child, right? Don't cry, pick your head up. That's nothing to be sad about. Always demonizing feeling. So then we grow up as an adult who unconsciously feels unsafe to be expressed, who feels unsafe to go inward and to allow themselves to be immersed in what is and what's coming forward. And it is really our ability to change our relationship with our emotions that also opens up the doorway to different communications with our higher self, with our guides, okay? One of the biggest misconceptions that I see is people believing that they are their emotions. They attach so many meanings and stories around what they are feeling that they begin to identify with it, right? I am sad, I am happy, I am depressed, I'm angry. And it's really important to understand that you are not your emotions. You are simply the human, the person, the vehicle experiencing these emotions. And when you can begin to change your relationship with what you are making your emotions mean, then you open up a deeper awareness of the body. It opens up this doorway and allows you to have a deeper connection, with the innate wisdom of the body. And I think for so many of us, we've put these different labels on emotions, right? Like, I'm allowed to be happy. I'm allowed to be joyous. Those are good emotions. I'm allowed to be excited. Um, but then we've made ourselves wrong or bad for feeling anger, for feeling shame, for feeling guilt, for grieving, right? These are bad emotions, which creates a larger resistance to them. And anything that you resist persists, right? It's going to keep showing up in different relationships and different triggers. It's going to keep popping up in your external reality in the physical until you are ready to truly sit with it, to meet it, and allow yourself just to feel it. And it's important to understand that your emotions are just energy in motion. It is a packet of information. It is a pocket of energy. It is just something that is wanting your attention, right? It's something that wants to be felt and wants to be experienced. That's part of why we came here as human beings, to have feeling, to have emotion. And it wasn't just to be over in the rainbows and the butterflies, it was to experience the whole range of what it means to be alive, to be human. And that also is allowing ourselves to sit and to be with whatever is coming forward. And you'll realize that the more you stop resisting a certain emotion or making it bad or wrong or feeling like, I just shouldn't be feeling this, it actually has deeper insights, it has deeper awarenesses and expansion for you. I've experienced a lot of grief lately. My dad passed away a few months ago unexpectedly. And it's been really challenging for me. And on an unconscious level, it's bringing up so much for me in relationships and safety and love, right? Like, losing your dad is a lot. It's a lot on someone, especially a woman. And I have to have moments where I allow myself to drop in and to fully experience the grief. And when I do, you know, it's not just grief that arises, it's also sadness. It's also some regret, if I'm being 100% honest. Regret that I didn't take more time for him, or I didn't get to know him beyond being a father, because being met with so many of his friends at his ceremony, I realized his aliveness and how there was so much more depth to him that I wish I could have experienced. And as I sit with that, I realize that there's also love in the room, right? There's also this overflowing of love and just appreciation for who he was and for who I am because of him. And if I didn't allow myself to fully go in and to be with my grief, I never would have got to experience the love that was underneath it all. So there's a beautiful thing that happens as we dive into some of these lower frequency emotions, or the ones that you consider bad, is that you actually become a conduit and a channel for them to be moved through you and for you to experience and to transmute them into something more beautiful. Many times when I sit with an emotion, it shape shifts into something so much deeper, and I have deeper awareness to what is there and what is needed and what was trying to be communicated. Our emotions, again, are just energy in motion, and it is a way that our internal world and our external world communicate. Okay. It's how we can feel, if a relationship is good for us, if a person is, right for us. Think about somebody that you love deeply, right? Like somebody who they just get you, when you are together, it is like a chemistry, it is a vibe, and you feel this sense of expansiveness. You feel this sense of openness. You feel the sense of just aliveness when you're together, right? And opposed to maybe somebody that you don't get along that well, or maybe somebody that you have trauma with. For me, I noticed and had awareness to my body that every time I was in a room with my ex after we had broken up, my son's father, I could feel my body armor up. I could feel the contraction. I could feel myself closing. And this was my body's way of showing me that, like, this environment, that this person, that this relationship, like, it isn't in alignment. So again, like, when we can begin to cultivate deeper understandings of our body, of our sensations, of our emotions, it is always our higher self, God, source, communicating and trying to guide us into those environments, into those experiences, opportunities, relationships that are going to be the most serving for us to thrive. All right, so let's do a quick recap because I feel like there are some gems in here and I really want you to anchor this in. I really want this to land. The first thing that is so important is that you are not your emotions. Okay, you are simply the one, the vehicle, the vessel that is experiencing these emotions. Okay, they mean absolutely nothing about you. And the quicker that you can actually lean into these emotions, allowing yourself to fully feel, experience, and be immersed in them, the quicker they are to actually transmute, for you to move through them, and for you to gain deeper awarenesses of what's actually there and why these emotions are coming to the surface. Okay, think of this almost as embodied shadow work when we are addressing the signals, the emotions, the sensations of the body, because that is the doorway into that next level or experience that you are desiring to call in. Okay, this is so important. I want you to leave today knowing that your emotions are simply just ways that your higher self, that your body communicates with you. It is a way that they tap you on the shoulder and they let you know, like, there is something right here that is ready to be healed, accepted, integrated, or released. Okay. And the only way to gain that deeper awareness to what's actually alive in this moment or there for you, or where that barrier or protective layer is kicking in, is to allow yourself to just be with that emotion. Okay. Those are some of the things that are so important about our emotions and how we can begin cultivating and building this whole new relationship with them. And your emotions are going to be your line of communication. They're going to be the signals that are letting you know about your current environment. Okay. So I want you to begin drawing awareness to your body when you're with certain people, when you're eating certain foods, when you're interacting um, in different activities, relationships, etc. And just beginning to notice what's happening in my body. Do I feel expansive? Do I feel contraction? Do I feel excitement? Do I feel a sense where I'm armoring up and closing? I want you just for this next week to really begin pay attention to this, okay? Really begin noticing. and not trying to fix it, not trying to change it, but just here awareness. Awareness is everything. Just beginning to draw awareness to what's happening in your body. And as you begin to have awareness to where you feel open, where you feel closed, I want you to begin saying goodbye to anyone, anything, any place that is lowering your vibration, that is dimming your light, okay? That is making your essence, your soul, your magic contract in any way. And here is where the work lies. One thing I do notice is that it's so easy for people to get comfortable or to feel like they are stuck, right? Like when you're operating from this lens of need, it's easy to just take whatever is available to you, right? Like you'll settle for, maybe a house that isn't exactly what you want, but you need somewhere to live, or you needed a coffee table, so you took the hand-me-down or whatever. But now, as you are desiring a different experience, now that you're in a different place, it's like, now that my glass is already full, is this still what I'm going to choose, right? Now that I'm not operating from this place of need and I'm moving into this lens of pure just want and desire, you know, would this be the thing that I would choose? This is what I mean about the environment, right? This is what I mean when I'm saying that your choices are so important. The energetic exchange of energy that you are allowing to flow to you and to flow through you literally is becoming you. So if your glass is already full, what are you choosing? Right? Where do you need to begin to make these adjustments? Where do you need to begin saying no? Where do you need to begin creating space? And how can you begin crafting your reality to truly be one that is magnetic, to truly be one that is so fulfilling to you that you're not waiting for something to happen, that you're just fully immersed in what is here right now? This is the power of environment. So today, I want you all to leave here and just begin drawing awareness to your current environment and begin asking yourself, is this in alignment? Whether that be relationships, whether that be certain activities you participate in, the music you listen to, the food you eat, etc. And then begin asking yourself how. How can you begin to craft an environment that truly supports you? One that is in energetic alignment and one that will truly help you thrive. What are the things that you need to begin releasing and saying no to that represents a past version of self and experience? Where can you lean into your discomfort and expand your capacity just a little bit more by getting into the rooms, into the places with the type of environment that mirrors the type of experience with reality, with your desires that you are wishing to call in and to create? Okay. I'm telling you, this will literally change your life. This is literally how you begin to quantum leap, how you begin to transverse timelines and to step into your most delicious, magnetic, amazing experience with reality now. Try this on. Let me know how it goes, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me today for another juicy episode of Shadow Priestess Embodied. I absolutely love diving in and having these conversations with you all. If this is an episode that you found intriguing, that you found some nuggets in, please share it with a friend and be sure to subscribe and follow me so you can be present for all of the upcoming transmissions, activations, and downloads that I will be bringing to our community. Have an absolutely magical day, and I'll see you soon.